I had never done a quartet record where it was guitar, piano, and bass and drums. So in effect, I'm kind of a bit more of the horn on this record. And that was the general concept. And everybody, they were all the guys that I wanted to have playing on the record.
So you've got Ted Quinlan on guitar, Ted Warren playing the drums, Brian Dickinson on piano, and Kieran Overs on the bass. All of them, among Canada's best jazz musicians, so it's always a pleasure to, anytime you get to be in the room when those guys are making music.
Most of it's quite new. I think we played it a bit on some gigs, but mainly we got together at Brian Dickinson's house and just we got together twice actually, and by jazz standards that's a huge amount of pre-production.
What I liked is that there was ebb and flow. Some tunes just rolled off in the first take, and then the second take was sort of like, do we really need this? But it's nice to have. Everybody involved is very positive and supportive, so that makes it all work,
I mean, I would be just as happy just hanging out with these guys. It's a lot of what goes on in a session because we're not playing the whole time. To me, it's absolutely essential to making good music is to make it with people that you enjoy hanging with. I like it to kind of feel like we had this great party and, we made a record at the same time too. How did that happen?
Ted kind of writes in a style that I think we both grew up on, and we both share interest in a lot of the same players over the years, and I just find the music very, very comfortable and challenging. It's nice to be involved in a project where it feels kind of right up my alley.
These tunes are different, but they do sound like Ted, and it's hard to put your finger on what it is in writing that gives it that familiar quality, but there's something about Ted's writing that is song-like.
Love Ted's writing. They're beautiful tunes. They touch on a lot of different areas. They're really pretty melodies. They're nice vehicles for improvisation. His writing's always been like that. It's always fun to work on his compositions.
I have really broad tastes as a guitar player, but pretty eclectic tastes. It's always a challenge to try to figure out how to represent that, and I'm trying to make some kind of coherent whole out of those.
You go from a thing that feels like sort of like folky pop tune to full-on rock or metal-y sort of like thing with acoustic instruments. But it's always melodic and it's always got a groove, so it's easy to get into all that with Ted.
I like all of Ted's tunes, and I really like the balance too. There's some beautiful, more poignant ballad kind of things and straight eighths tunes that are nice and open, and then there's some other tunes like we played X Marks the Spot, which is a lot more rambunctious, so it's really cool that he's got the whole spectrum covered.
The phrasing and the form and the melodies that he's written, it doesn't matter what kind of music you're into, the tune will reach you. They're really nice.
I'm knocked out that the musicians that I worked with can wrap their minds and their chops around this diverse of a bunch of tunes, which they did beautifully. So I guess I'm going into this hoping that it comes out as a coherent whole, and I think it's going to, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to happen. So that's part of the surprise factor.